roller coaster, and you hear those clickers, the loud sound. It's really violent, metal, chunk. And you go, what's going on here? You know, boy, this thing's really goes high. And then you go over the top. The wedding is at the top. You go over the top is the wedding, and then you just scream it.
Even if you make plans, you never think you're really ready for marriage.
No, it's like any growth. You can't be ready for it because it's growth. It's going to be new. It's going to be new. You're going to have a new life. You're going to be a new person.
Couldn't make you wait forever or forever. This is forever.
If there's a question of my heart, you got it. It don't belong to anyone but you. Hey, if there's a question of my love, you got it. Baby, don't worry, I got plans for you. Yeah, baby, I've been making plans. Oh, love. Baby, I've been making plans for you. Yeah, baby, I've been making plans. Yeah, baby, I've been making plans for
My sincere apology, I made it. Look, I'll admit it, albeit pathetic, that I'm in my late 20s, still never been to a wedding. It's the idea of that lobby empty. Do not sit with me, well, it's not your fault they try to get me. Cause I'ma need the sales, cause I'm selfish. And I need you to myself, trying to see you afloat, but don't want to see you sail. Cause I failed, I see you about to cry. Cause when I enter they city, they leave without their pride. I'm sorry. And you staring at my comments, fearing it's gonna always be you sharing me with all them. Wrong. How dare I say ignore them? Preparing for that day I leave you here, it's what you for them. It's hard, you know, temptation and all. Bitches out here trying to see if my relationship's strong. Get a place in the chart, so run away from your heart. Yeah, this music my all, nothing is sacred no more. I'm wrong. But I'm promising you better though. Your friends saying let them go. And we ain't getting any younger. I can give them now, but I can promise you forever. No. That's right.
you got it. It don't belong to anyone but you. Hey, if there's a question of my love, you got it. Baby, don't worry, I got plans for you. Yeah, baby, I've been making plans. Oh, love, baby, I've been making plans for you. Baby, I've been making plans.
The realest shit I ever wrote.
Baby, I've been making plans
The realest shit I ever wrote.
Yeah.
You have a new letter. I'll admit it, let me be hypothetical. If the day I find a woman, I'd probably be scared to share it. The idea of me finding love would run somebody off. And through my wall could use some plaques, but still I got a flaws, brush you off. Yeah, I'm kinda lost. Now I'm up in the club with a couple of move-ons. Been dark, good nigga trouble heart. Went from falling in love to drunk and falling apart. This is hard. Tryna find some time to move on. So when we lost our baby, I got shady, shit got too dark. I'm sorry. And I thank you, baby, you strong. My ex before you married to you solo, I say so long. Nah, good terms, how that ended. But it surely put a dent on how I worry about this business. Off-white picket fences, on flights with the children, on site stealing kisses, on off nights my intentions. But I plan to do it better though. But you still saying let it go. We ain't getting any younger. Women love me now, but in your eyes you forever though.
Baby, wow. You got it. It don't belong to anyone but you. Hey, if there's a question of my love, you got it. Baby, don't worry, I got plans for you. Yeah, baby, I've been making plans. Oh, baby.
Shalom, shalom, Yasharallah. I hope all is well. We definitely ain't getting any younger, are we, Mish? No. I'm just going to start off by telling you what's on my heart right now. Take it or leave it. The Most High has instructed us in His Word, time immemorial, to return to the set-apart land. And even I have relayed that memo multiple times right here on All Esteem. And yet, not only do I not see people on that highway, I see so many people not even willing to look at it. And it breaks my heart knowing that out of all the mishpachah, everyone is ignoring His Word. And not only that, they're just sitting back and they're missing out on the adventure of a lifetime. They're missing out on standing on their faith and their trust in Him, on the reward from doing that. They're missing out on life. They're willing to just be couch potatoes and sit on the bench, keeping it warm. And I know what the reason for that is. It's for the lust and the cares of this world. It's for the luxuries and the comfort that this world brings you. I'm going to tell you, though, if you think that you can just sit back and keep the bench warm, and that you never have to take the steps towards everlasting life, if you think you can just sit back and live in Babylon and partake and expect to enter into the gates, you are dead wrong. And I can also tell you that if you don't ever put one foot forward in front of the other towards Zion, you're missing out on so much reward and blessing. That is what really breaks my heart, knowing that there's so many that just dismiss the truth that Yasharal is in the western part of America. I shared this video the other day. Looks like nobody even watched it. And this young man who put together this video, I used to say that there needs to be other people making videos that are way better at this sort of thing than myself. There needs to be more people digging into this. Well, this young man, hallelujah, he knows what he's doing. He knows what time it is. If you haven't watched this video right here, you need to check it out. He puts forth more evidence than any reasonable, rational mind should need to find the truth that it's out in Western America. There's all the evidence you need right there in that video. This is just, if we are on our way into set apart matrimony with the Messiah, then you have to come down the aisle. And I'm going to tell you right now, sitting on your ass in Babylon ain't coming down the aisle. You have to come now. And if you don't, what you're missing out on is beyond your comprehension. I just hope and pray that whoever hears this decides within themselves to start to dig and look for the truth. And when you find that the truth is that the set apart place, that Zion, where you must return to, is in the western part of America. When you find that truth, I pray that if you have to hitchhike barefoot, that you start that journey. There's nothing like it, Mishpachah. We read a couple weeks ago in Jeremiah chapter 31, right here. Verse 2, thus said Yahuwah, a people escaped from the sword, found favor in the wilderness, Yasharal, when it went to find rest. You ain't going to find rest warming the bench back in Egypt or Babylon. You're not. And if you think I'm wrong about the location, prove me wrong. I would love to have that experience, that educational experience with you. I would love to. But you can't, and you won't. That's what's so sad. You're unwilling to even pick it up, to look into it. I am going to build you again, and you shall be rebuilt, O maiden of Yasharal. Again you shall take up your tambourines and go forth in the dances of those who rejoice. You might not hear the tambourines in the background. Not literally, but I'm a-bouncing them off my thigh as we speak. Again, you shall plant vines on the mountains of Samaria. The planters shall plant and treat them as common. For there shall be a day when the watchmen cry on Mount Ephraim, arise and let us go up to Sion, to our mighty, most high Abba. Yahuwah is his name. He's our wonderful creator. Here I am, Mishpachah. Come now. Come face down and give him all honor, all praise, all glory, and all esteem. Maybe if we read right here from Colossians chapter 3, you'll understand what it means to do what you're doing, to ignore and avoid what I'm talking about, and what it means to pay attention and seek the matters which are above. Verse 1, if then you were raised with Messiah, seek the matters which are above, where Messiah is seated at the right hand of the Most High. Mind the matters above, not those on earth. Fear is one of those things. Don't be afraid of what could happen to you. If anything, be afraid of what's going to happen to you if you don't get your ass off of that bench and couch and get it into gear, heading west or wherever it is you are. Most likely west. For you have died, and your life has been hidden with Messiah in the Most High. When the Messiah, who is our life, is manifested, then you also shall be manifested with him in esteem. Truth. Therefore put to death your members which are on the earth, whoring, uncleanness, passion, evil desire, and greed of gain, which is idolatry. All those things are more than likely the reason you haven't looked into this. It's more than likely the reason you haven't desired to walk. Do you think Abraham sat on the bench when the Most High told him to go? He went. He had no idea where he was going. Neither did all of Yasharal when they were released from Pharaoh with Moses and Aaron. They didn't know where they were going. A lot of them didn't make it. A lot of them didn't even want to go. But bless those who did. Because of this, the wrath of the Most High is coming upon the sons of disobedience. Disobedience. In which you also once walked when you lived in them, but now also put off all these: displeasure, wrath, evil, blasphemy, filthy talk from your mouth. And this is another thing I want to bring to your attention. If you think using the name Lord and God and Jesus is okay, it's not. It's not. Sure, the Most High knows who you're talking about, but it represents everything that is corrupt and disgusting on this earth. It just shows him and I how much you respect and revere him. When you're absolutely unwilling to use those names, it shows him and I just how much you respect and revere him. It does. It means a lot to him. And one might argue, well, Yahuwah ain't the way you say it. Maybe not. Maybe not. But I tell you what ain't the proper way to say his name. It's Lord, God, Jesus. Those are names of blasphemy. You don't want to utter those names out your lips. Do not lie to each other, since you have put off the old man with his practices, and have put on the new one, who is renewed in knowledge according to the likeness of him who created him, where there is not Greek and Yehudi, circumcised and uncircumcised, foreigner, Scythian, slave, free, but Messiah is all and in all. We're supposed to do what Messiah would do, right? What did he do? He left everything behind. I was thinking today about the last video that I had pulled, that they removed from my YouTube channel, and what I was talking about in that video. In that video, I was talking about the same thing basically that I'm talking about right now. When Messiah came and he found the taught ones, the disciples, in the boat fishing, he said, "Follow me, and I'll teach you to be fishers of men." What would have happened if they would have said, "Well, I got a doctor's appointment on Tuesday. I can't, Messiah, Yahusha," or "We're fishing. We got to catch these fish. My wife's gonna get mad if I ain't busting my ass, if I ain't home at dinner time." No. If anyone is, listen, if your loved ones aren't seeking the truth, seeking the Most High, following after Messiah in his footsteps, they're not coming with you anyway. And if you ain't following in his footsteps, if you're willing to stay behind in that boat for them, bye-bye to you as well. You got to get on that highway right now, Mishpachah. The time is short. Look, I also shared, what did I share? Right here, this picture right here. This is from the Denver International Airport's murals. This is one of the murals they have. And if you look close, you see that forest fire back there. You see all that smoke. I hope that you're not dealing with it out there if you're out east. I hope that the sky isn't blaze orange for you. I really don't. But if it is, I hope you understand what that means. Those fires just aren't happening on accident. There is direct proof, evidence of direct energy weapons being shot up to each one of those fires. They're doing that. This is one vehicle they are using, one horse they are using to usher in this the end, the Agenda 2030. One way they're ushering in electric vehicles, no more free. They're taking your freedoms away. They're using this so they can promote climate change. Mishpachah, there is no climate change. This is, Satan knows his time is short. That's what this is. He knows we are at the end of days. And I warned you guys before about, and Jeremiah, we read in Jeremiah, he told Jeremiah, he said, do not take a wife or have children in this place because they will die, and those who have children will die. You know, a lot of you that I'm thinking of right now, you have children. I know how hard it must be to just walk away from your family. But if you don't, this is just the truth. If you don't, bye-bye to you as well. I'm sorry to tell you that, but that's just the truth. The only thing you could hope for is if you had to depart from them because they won't come with you. The only thing that I hope that other than them coming with you is that maybe they'll see how true all this is, and they see your faith that you have, that you're willing to get on that highway, and they'll want to come with you. Maybe come with you. Maybe go back and get them, whatever. But the facts are that you have to do that. You have to be willing to disown mother, father, sister, brother, wife, husband, and children, friend and neighbor for Messiah. And that's just the truth. And if you don't, then bye-bye, which is even more sad, because you're willing to lose your life, your eternal blissfulness, happiness, blessing, for those who have set an ambush for you and are catching you by your heel. Don't do it. Go look, Google the murals, and you're going to see what's going on. They tell the whole story right here, what they're doing. And that means that the time is short. Another thing I want to tell you about, I was looking out in the salt flats on Google Earth, and I found this, I don't know if it's secret, but this military base. And they are working on what they say is the CV-19 in aerosol that's male targeting specific. I have the PDF. I'm not going to share it on here in case it gets pulled. But if you look into that, it's called Project. Are you ready for this? It's called Project 24. Yes, it is. Mishpachah, you don't want to get stuck in Egypt or Babylon. Right now, you have this window of opportunity. Do you know why the company Pella Windows is called that? I've talked about this before. Back when I think it was Greece came and destroyed Jerusalem and killed all kinds of Mishpachah, before they did, something happened. I can't remember exactly what happened. They call it the Pella window. And a small window of time, of opportunity, was given to those who fled into the mountains of Yehuda. The armies were hung up for like a day or 3 days, and it gave those who had been watching, therefore, those who had been reading, therefore, it gave those people enough time to escape and flee into the mountains. And those who laughed, those who didn't believe, those who said, who told them what was coming, those who didn't believe, those people died a horrible and gruesome death. I think we are right now, I wouldn't call it the Pella window, whatever you want to call it, it's a window of opportunity and time for you to get your ass in the car on the shoulder of the highway with your thumb out, on a bus, on a plane, whatever it is you have to do. And just imagine if you can overcome those fears that you're having right now, thinking to yourself, well, what would I do? I mean, once I got there, I mean, how am I going to eat? What about this? What about that? Just imagine if you can overcome all that fear, all those things of the world, where you're putting your mind on the things of this world. Just imagine if you can overcome all that and put your mind on the things above, on what the word says. Imagine the blessing you will receive by walking out that childlike faith. Can you imagine? So go look at those pictures, those murals. Right now, we're going to read, I think we're on chapter 17 of Jeremiah. We're going to go back and read Jeremiah chapter 17. We haven't got to chapter 20 yet, to where it talks about Major Misabib or whatever, which is all about the fear, what we're talking about right here. Sorry about that. If you look on those murals, it's talking about, it shows a lot of children being killed. And if you listen to Mr. Gil Bates, you know who I'm talking about, he's been warning, and the WHO has been warning, that the next pandemic is going to target children. Yeah, it is. And it explains it right there in their murals. Go look. So that's even more reason for you to recognize what it is you must do. You must leave those that Babylon and Egyptian land and go to where there is safety. And a lot of it that I'm talking about is found right here in Jeremiah. A lot of what's going to happen and what is happening is found right here in Jeremiah. Chapter 17, verse 1. The sin of Yehuda is written with a pen of iron, engraved with the point of a diamond on the tablet of their heart. and on the horns of your slaughter places. Excuse me. While their children remember their slaughter places and their Asherim by the spreading trees on the high hills, right there. While their children, most of you won't leave. Most of you could never convince your children to do what I've been talking about, because they can't imagine walking away from all they know, from their Christmas and their birthdays and all their friends and their school and all that's corrupt and corrupting their innocent little minds, and maybe yours too. Right there it says, all that's engraved on their heart, because that's all they can think of is their Christmas. You have to walk away from it all. You have to. And if you're an adult, you know, me and my brother, older brother, used to have this conversation every once in a while. He came to the understanding that all that this is talking about is Christmas, that you have to put it down and all these things. And he knows the truth of that. But his wife and his 2 children that still live in his house, there is no, you couldn't tell them that same thing. And he would say, like, well, what am I going to do? And I told him, just like I'm going to tell you, if it's your house, put your foot down, because it's your responsibility to do so. If they don't like it, tough titty. Kick them out if you have to, because it's their life, it's your life, and it's their life. Don't be the one who is to blame. Do all you can do to throw those disgusting matters out of your house. You're not a slave. If you're a parent, you're not a slave to your children. Who is in authority in that house? Is it you or is it them? My mountain in the field I give as plunder your wealth, all your treasures, your high places of sin throughout all your borders. And you, even of yourself, shall let go of your inheritance which I gave you. If you can't do what I just said, you're going to let go of that inheritance the Most High has for you. Yes, you are. Try proving me wrong on that. You ain't gonna. You can't. And I shall make you serve your enemies in a land which you have not known. For you have kindled a fire in my displeasure which burns forever. Don't be a part of that group that does that to the Most High. And like I said, if you're willing to do that because your children or your wife or your husband prefers to do that, well, bye-bye to you as well. Just give it all up, I guess. I mean, I hate to say that. I hate to tell you to give up your walk of faith, your childlike faith towards the Most High and towards prosperity, but you're giving it up anyways if you don't put your foot down and do something about it. Thus said Yahuwah, cursed is the man who trusts in man and makes flesh his arm. That's what I just said. That's what this is saying right here. You'll be cursed if you stay in that spot. And you kindle the fire of displeasure of the Most High because you were more afraid of doing that to your children. But I got to tell you, if you happen to be there when they are being dragged away to outer darkness, to the lake of fire, for all that displeasure that they kindled, if you happen to be there and they're being dragged away, don't be surprised if they look at you and say, Mom or Dad, why didn't you tell us about this? Why didn't you put your foot down? Why didn't you stop us? What are you going to say? What are you going to say to them children, to your loved ones? You know what I'm going to say? I'm going to say, I tried telling you. I tried to tell you. I did maybe I didn't do all I could, and I'm going to try to do all I can from this moment forward. But they're not going to tell me that I didn't warn them. They're not. And whose heart turns away from Yahuwah. For he shall be like a shrub in the desert, and not see when good comes, and shall inhabit the parched places in the wilderness, a salt land that is not inhabited. Blessed is the man who trusts in Yahuwah and whose trust is Yahuwah. Trust him. Get on the road. For he shall be like a tree planted by the waters, which spreads out its roots by the river and does not see when heat comes. And his leaf shall be green, and in the year of drought he is not anxious, nor does he cease from yielding fruit. The heart is crooked above all and desperately sick. Who shall know it? I, Yahuwah, search the heart, I try the kidneys, and give every man according to his ways, according to the fruit of his deeds. As a partridge that broods but does not hatch, so is he who gets riches, but not by right. It leaves him in the midst of his days, and at his end he is a fool. A fool you will be if you can't leave all that behind. An esteemed throne, exalted from the beginning, is the place of our set apart place. Esteemed from the beginning. Mishpachah, I think you know what I'm talking about. O Yahuwah, the expectation of Yasharal. All who forsake you are put to shame. Those who depart from me shall be written in the earth, because they have forsaken Yahuwah, the fountain of living waters. Heal me, O Yahuwah, so that I am healed. Save me, so that I am saved, for you are my praise. See, they say to me, where is the word of Yahuwah? Let it come now. It's came now. And I have not run away from being a shepherd who follows you, nor have I longed for the desperately sick day. You yourself have known that which came out of my lips was before you. I've warned you, all you people. Do not be a ruin to me. You are my shelter in the day of evil. Let those who persecute me be put to shame, but do not let me be put to shame. Let them be broken, but do not let me be broken. Bring on them the day of evil and destroy them with double destruction. Thus Yahuwah said to me, go and stand in the gate of the children of the people. Here I am, Abba, by which the sovereigns of Yehuda come in and by which they go out, and all the gates of Yerushalayim. If you, hallelujah, Yahuwah, if you can find it within yourself to see the truth about what I'm telling you, and you understand that you must get off the bench, you must get on that highway and come to Zion, then what the fact that you're hearing my voice and the platform you're hearing my voice on right now, warning you to do so, is a gate. It's the gate to leave Babylon, escape from Babylon. And you shall say to them, hear the word of Yahuwah, you sovereigns of Yehuda and all the inhabitants of Jerusalem who enter by these gates. Thus said Yahuwah, guard yourselves and bear no burden on the Shabbat day, nor bring it in by the gates of Jerusalem. And this is another thing. If you're doing any kind of work on this Shabbat, you best stop it right now. If you read all through Scripture, the way that you have a seal, the seal of the Most High, the way you're sealed and that you're protected from the destruction that's coming, the way you do that is that you keep the Shabbat. And it doesn't matter if your children cry and throw a screaming fit about it, or your husband or your wife, your sisters, whoever it is. If you want to live, you best bring every burden to a screeching halt come Shabbat. Now, we can debate on what day that is according to the moon or whatever, but look, the seventh day that we know, our seventh day, all that we know, if you ain't following the moon and you know exactly when each day is, if you're like myself and you don't know that, but you know that Saturday, call it whatever, is the seventh day, when the sun goes down on the seventh day, you best stop doing what you're doing The night before the seventh day, you best stop what you're doing and do exactly what the Most High tells you, and honor and guard the Shabbat, or it's bye-bye. Either way for you. Take no burden out of your houses on the Shabbat day, nor do any work, and you shall set apart the Shabbat day as I commanded your fathers. But they did not obey. Is it going to be talking about you right here? They did not obey because their job, their boss said this, or whoever. It doesn't matter. Where is your faith in the Most High? Get fired. Lose your house. Lose your car. Lose your family, your children, if that's what it takes. Otherwise, why are you even listening to this at all? Bye-bye, I guess. That's not what I would want. Heaven forbid. But if you're not going to go the distance for him, it's bye-bye for you, unfortunately. But they did not obey or incline their ear, and they made their neck stiff, not to hear and not to receive instruction. And it shall be, if you diligently obey me, declares Yahuwah, to bring in no burden through the gates of the city on the Shabbat day, and set apart the Shabbat day to do no work in it. Then the sovereigns and the heads sitting on the throne of Daud shall enter into the gates of the city. Enter into the gates. Do you see what I'm talking about? If you're part of the 144, you are a sovereign. You will rule and reign with the Messiah. He's telling you right there, you have to enter in through the gates of the city, but he's warning you, when you do get on the highway and you do come to Zion, bring no burden in on the Shabbat day. Do no work. Riding in on chariots and on horses, they and their heads, the men of Yehuda and the inhabitants of Jerusalem. And this city shall be inhabited forever. And they shall come from the cities of Yehuda and from the places around Jerusalem, and from the land of Benjamin, and from the low country, from the mountains, and from the south, bringing ascending offerings and slaughterings. If you get on the highway, that's what you'll be doing. You'll be bringing ascending offerings and slaughterings of yourself. You were willing to die to yourself. You were willing to get rid of all that binds you. You were willing to come regardless of the consequence. Grain offerings and incense, bringing offerings of praise to the house of Yahuwah. But if you do not obey me, to set apart the Shabbat day and not to bear a burden when entering the gates of Jerusalem on the Shabbat day, then I shall kindle a fire in its gates, and it shall consume the palaces of Jerusalem, and it will not be quenched. And just as much as this is a command for you to bear no burden on the Shabbat day, it's equally a command that you come to those gates and you enter through them, that you get on that highway. I've read and shared enough scripture, enough word coming from the mouth of Yahuwah that told you that that's just how it is, like it or not. And let me tell you, when you enter through that gate and you come to Zion, like it, you will. You'll love it. There's no comparison, Mishpachah. We ain't getting any younger. The wedding bells are a ringing. Don't be a part of those foolish virgins who didn't trim their lamps with the desire to follow him and obey his voice. You'll be knocking on that door, and the Messiah, the bridegroom, is going to tell you, "Depart from me, I never knew you, you worker of iniquity." Lawlessness. Don't be that. Don't be in that category, Mishpachah. Get your ass into gear off that bench, and on the highway, come to your home, your rest, and leave the rest behind if that's what it takes. Shalom, shalom. Peace out for now. D's out.